Vav Tzvi Lip Ben Rex Rishons of Mary Friedman, Mendel Miriam Bat Kalman Ruben, Bella and David Adler in memory of her father, Rehal Ben Yosef Kohen. Friends of Honey Heifetz, Hannah Shoshana Bat Yosef. By the way, they will be doing a Shloshim observance for Honey Heifetz. Ralph is arranging for a shiur. Okay, Orally Cantor is maybe doing a shiur. I don't know if it's only for women or for men and women together. Okay, that will be announced. Okay, a month of learning by Susan and Ruvain Podolsky, memory of her father Simcha Bunim ben Yeshua. Susan and Ruvain Podolsky, in memory of her mother, Chaya Bat Avraham Dov. Michael and Judith Koretsky, in memory of his mother, Rachel Bat Avraham. Jack Gilman, in memory of his brother, Zev Yosef ben Yitzchak. Karen and Melvin Haller, in memory of her father, Yosef Eliezer ben Tzvi Hersh. Barbara Stern, in memory of her brother, Israel Abraham ben David Motka. Sonia and Bernie Krutz, in memory of their dear friend Honey Heifetz. She touched so many lives in the best way. A week of learning by Andrew and Stephanie Becker, in memory of his mother, the 29th, no individual days of learning for today. So we are starting with mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines from the bottom on top of the thing. So we have machlokas and we have machlokas. Did somebody drop some money or something off the end? We have machlokas in general, whether there are malchos for a negative precept where there's no action. If you don't do an action, whether a person can get whipped for it. The truth is, the source is our din, is the Sason, where the malchus comes together by Muslim. But there's an opinion, we bring a raya the other way, that you see that there are malchus for a law that doesn't have a maisa, because you see by nosar, the only reason why nosar doesn't get malchus because it's lava nitikla ase, because if you leave it over, you have to get rid of it. But so really, if that weren't so you see there would be malchus also for a lav shim b'matzah. So over here, we're going to start out, let's assume that there's no malchus for a negative precept where you don't do an action. Ironically, there's still a machlokas about speech, and this is very relevant. People use this today. All the electronic devices that you speak to, you speak to your phone, or you speak to the computer, etc. So this is one of the places where they're used to machriya the halacha. Itmar, we learned. Some of the call. Let's say the guy, he instead of muzzling the animal, he yells at it. He yells at it, so he's causing it. He's causing it it's causing it to thresh and not eat at the same time. Okay, or let's say he took an ox and a donkey, and instead of leading them, holding on and leading them, but he yells at them. In those cases, Yochanan says he's obligated. Now, this is even according to the opinion that a law that does not have an action doesn't get the malchus. Goes here. What this is called in this case, since the speech brings about, according to Tosfos, since the speech brings about an action, as opposed to let's say a person makes up, I don't know, he says something, or makes up what talk about vows, there's not an action. But when you do speech that makes an action take place, if you call that speech an action, what Yochanan does, he's causing it to plow together the ox and the donkey. He's causing the animal to thresh and not eat at the same time. His speech brings about an action. Rish Lakish says he's exempt. Yochanan says he's obligated to get whipped. Why? He must be have a mindset. The bending of his mouth, speech is an action. But like I told you, Tosfos holds here not that speech alone is an action, but speech that brings about an action, like we said here, is an action. Rish Lakish says no. Kala Lavima says any way you look at it, speech is not an action. Yochanan wants to bring a kasha to Rish Lakish. You tell me what that speech that brings about an action is not an action. I'll show you that it is. We learned Mishnah teaches us you're not supposed to exchange a sacrificial animal for another animal. But if you do, they both are holy. The holiness descends upon the animal that you tried to replace it. So okay, so it says this way. It doesn't make a difference whether a man, a woman, anybody does it. Anybody can do it. In other words, the Mishnah starts out everybody can switch, can substitute. Okay, man, women, but not that the person is allowed to, you're not allowed to do it. But if the person does want to make a switch, or so to speak, to transfer, it does. But something is about it, and the person gets whipped. Okay, why that? Because there's a lot of Salachli Fena who shouldn't switch it. And now you see what? You see clearly that what? That speech, that the speech alone, a little hard to understand. Tell us what I just told you. But anyway, but you see that what? That speech alone, you can get whipped for speaking. However you think, you're whipped for speaking. Amar like, that's further opinion. That's further his opinion. We learn from those sides. Amar Lav Shem Ma'aseh. He holds the what? That even a non-active transgression, like he said, you get whipped for it. Okay, so that's not our whole argument. Your argument, the argument, is only according to the opinion that what that a negative piece of without an action doesn't get whipped. So you're claiming that what that even though we hold that a negative without an action doesn't get whipped. If you're holding what? He says what? Is you're holding what? That speech works? He says, no, speech doesn't work because it turns a non-action into an action. It makes an action. The speech brings an action. No. He says, according to the opinion, you don't need an action. I need some missing. How can you defend? How can you defend? How can you defend Reish Lakish? He says by saying it's Rabbi Yehuda. Since we learned at the beginning of the very same Mishnah, everybody can, not that they should, they're allowed to do, but everybody's capable of transgressing each story. Knows that if they did it, it's going to happen. The animal that was not sacrificed will become sacrificed. So when it said that, and we learned about it, we said, well, holy to your mind. And we always know that the word all always includes a particular thing. The Yosh, so it's coming to include what? An inheritance. Unlike Rabbi Yehuda, because it says what? That not only can the father who owned the animal cause when he tries to make the exchange, cause the non-holy animal to become holy. He says, but even if he dies and his kid does it, it also works. Even if he dies and his kid does it. We look Rabbi Yehuda, but that's against Rabbi Yehuda. Because Rabbi Yehuda, because he said, Yoroshen and Mamir, he holds number one, that an inheritor, the animal of his father, could have caused a secular animal to become holy. The kid can't. And Yoroshen and Somech, and also the kid brings the sacrifice, he also doesn't lean, on the head, place his hand and lean on the head of the animal. So you see what? So how can you tell me this Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda, who holds what you don't need an action to get with? He says, we see clearly that what? That the Mishnah is not like Rabbi Yehuda. This is not, you know what? It's like it, not like it. I taught us some of the because this time I was like in one, legally with Padre, I just spent a long time in the last weeks, analyzing and teaching. I told you, if two people say the same thing, when we say there's a difference between things being like each other and being identical. And that's the same. A thing can be like something, but doesn't have to be absolutely identical. The only identity is identity. So a few people say it's. A few people say that the Gemara in Shabbos says that a person should be in Nasa. A person should be accommodating. Like Hill, there should be a kapton. It shouldn't be very stringent with standing ground. No, not being flexible like Shammai. So if people say, what are you talking about? Shammai is the holiest rabbi in the world. It's the highest place in the world to come. Shammai is a wonderful person. They say the problem is like this. When you're going to be like one of these rabbis, you're not actually going to do what they do. You're going to approximate. You're going to imitate them. You understand? But you're not. You're going to be like a grade B. You're going to be a wannabe Shammai or a wannabe Hillel. He says the Shammai. If you want to be Shammai, you can only be Shammai. You want to be Shammai? Then be Shammai. It's the holiest thing in the world. An approximation of Shammai? No, you can't do it. You approximate Hillel? That's okay. You want to be a grade B Hillel? It's fine. You can't be a grade B Shammai. Either you're a grade A Shammai or you can't be Shammai. Be a grade B, you can be Hillel. That's how a lot of people in the Gemara is. It. You want to be a wannabe Hillel, you're allowed to be. You're not allowed to be a wannabe Shammai. Either you're Shammai or you can't do it. So when we say something's alike, we don't mean it. So it's quite possible you say that the person older than you, older than everything. He holds like you're hidden one. Okay, like we said, in the fact that what that you don't need an action, therefore we could depend on your But he doesn't hold like Rabbi Yehuda as well as vis-a-vis the law of a Yoresh. Similarly, my brother, I'll be meet one day, is also he's very funny. So a lot of times, a person will say, "Oh, you're just doing this and that." He would say, "No, I'm not just doing this and that. I'm also doing this and that. I'm not just doing it." You have to, you have to be very, very careful. The only two things that are truly equal ever is an identity. Nothing. I humbly submit to you. And later, maybe one day, we'll get to learn the science of learning together. To see, there's nothing in the world is truly equal except for identity. The only one thing in the world that's equal is X equals X. That's the only true part. I told you, look at 6 plus equals 9. Oh, you're a kid. You look, oh, 6 plus 3 equals 9. What? Come on, are you serious? You mean what's on the left side of that equal sign and what's on the right side are the same? They don't look the same. On the left side, I see 3 symbols, and on the right side, I see one. And that, not only that, they don't look alike. That first one, it looks kind of like a 9, but it's upside down, the 6. And then there's a plus. That doesn't look anything like the 9. And the 3 doesn't look anything like the 9. How could 6 and 3 equal 9? That's a lie. Oh wait, I know what you mean. You mean in a very symbolic sense, like looking at the 6 as representing 6 units, and the 3 as the 3 representing 6 units, and the plus as a combination. Oh, you mean in a very limited metaphoric sense, 6 plus equals 9, but not really. I'm just teasing you, but I'm quite serious. The point is like this: the only true equation is an identity. X equals X. Nothing else. There's no other equals in the world. Now, it may be for any given system, for all practical purposes. We call it equal. That's what we do all the time in all of our halachas and our systems, etc. We don't have to. The two things don't have to be identical to be equal vis-a-vis a given halacha. If I need a person, let's say, wearing a white shirt, in that respect, Maisha and Chaim Yankel are equal. Why? They both have white shirts. You understand? Are they equal? He was born in France. He's born in Germany. Yeah, of course they're not. There's no identity here. But vis-a-vis this particular tzorah, this particular need, this particular halacha, we can consider them to be equal. We can substitute one for the other. But I just told you now the foundation that's everywhere in the Talmud, everywhere in the Talmud. And of course, what are we all from everybody, from all the earliest rabbis to the latest rabbis, we're always arguing to understand what is sufficiently equal for a given field of law. That's what we're doing up and down the page throughout the Talmud. That's what's always going. But if you understand this theory, you'll understand better in the workings. The more consciously you'll see, conscious learning is slow in the beginning, but very fast later. Very fast later. Why is that? Because when the mind actually grasps consciously what's including, it works very well and very quickly. When I was young, I couldn't get anybody to learn with me. You understand? They all thought I was too slow. Now, I'm not saying that's the goal, but later they weren't so fast. It was much faster, yeah. If you remember the old days, you get a computer program. You say, I can do this faster with a pencil. Yeah, until you learn the program. I can do this faster with a pencil and a pen. Yeah, until you learn how to use the machine. Then it's nowhere near. You're right. But you don't know how to use the technology, so it's always faster. But it's not really faster. It's slower. Okay. Anyway. So that's it. You have to know the difference between identity, you understand, and similarity, or what we'll call relatively equal, which is most of the time. We said if a person is going to muzzle a cow and thresh with it, so the person is going to get malchus, okay? But he also has to pay arba kabin lepara, shlosha kabin chama. We're going to make it easy. He's a rental, so we're rental. So it was understood that the owner of the cow that rented him is going to be animals to be able to eat its fill while it's threshing. So he has to pay. So not only do we get whipped, but he also has to what? He has to pay he has to pay the price of the food that he didn't allow the renter's animal, the owner's animal to eat. So four cow per cow, that's what we estimated for. Right, Neil? Shlosh cow, three cows for a donkey. I said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Don't we have a rule that says Kadei Shah, so you have to punish a person according to his wickedness, not for one wickedness and not for two. Therefore, we don't kill a person and make him pay for a monetary payment that he incurred at the same time that he incurred the death penalty. And also, we don't whip a person and make him pay for a monetary obligation that he incurred while he was incurring the obligation to be whipped. When the local mace, okay, then look, Misham, don't we hold it right? You cannot whip you cannot pardon, you don't kill a person to whip him. You whip him, you don't kill him. And you don't kill him, you don't whip him and kill him. And you don't whip him and make him pay. Okay, you don't whip him and make him pay. So that's another point. Also, right? We don't do both. So how come over here you're going to make him pay? Abai says Hamani Rabbi Meir, because that's what your mayor. Rabbi Meir held that the rule of not making the person do the minor punishment is only by death penalty. The mayor Dharma Loka Mashali, he held what that a person can get whipped and paying money. But because what the Torah said no to is only what killing a person paying money, whipping and paying money again. So that's one answer. Rabbi says no. It's a different point. Etna and Usher Torah. You're making a mistake. Not everything is a punishment. Let's say a guy gives a gift to a prostitute. You can't take that and dedicate it to the temple. You can't do it. It's not. God said no. Now, what if a guy lived with his mom? It's a very big prohibition. He decided to be killed. He says, but now, so let me ask you a question: Is the is the is the gift to the is the gift to the is the gift to the giver as a prostitute is a gift? Is it still forbidden? I feel a balimo. So yeah, the answer is what the Torah said. I don't care what the Torah said. Any gift to the prostitute, it's forbidden. So you see what? So even though he's exempt from paying, okay, even though he's exempt from paying, he's still what? It's still considered a gift. It's still considered a gift of a prostitute, and it's still disqualified. And the same thing over here. So therefore, what? So since this guy, you're right. When the Torah says that a person doesn't pay, it doesn't mean he doesn't owe the money. The Torah says that the basin is not going to make him pay. Of course, he still has the money. So therefore, some people stick in here what he wants to be yotzi to Yerushalayim. Over here, the case is what? When we said he's paying because he's going to get whipped, and really the basin can't take the money from him. You can say what? It's according to the opinion that we don't whip and pay money. But that only means the basin can't collect the money. But if you're yotzi Yerushalayim, he's going to do it. Because no matter what, the fact that we can't collect the money doesn't mean he doesn't owe the money. That was answer number two. Answer number one was this is the opinion of what that you whip and pay. Answer number two is even according to the opinion that you don't whip and pay, he still owes the money. Yeah, he still owes the money. He should pay. He wants to. Papa says the third answer. You're making a mistake. The whole rule of not getting two punishments is when the incurring of the liability for both the severe punishment and the less happen simultaneously. But that's not true over here. The obligation to pay the money. Okay, the second that he took the animal from the owner to rent it, he already was obligated to the feeding. But he doesn't have the obligation to be whipped until he actually muzzles the animal. I'm not Papa. Honey Mili Bonminai, the Bear of Papa Bakaba. Papa said that in the house of Papa Abba, he asked me these two questions. The first one was both of them answered them what they could be. So one of them, when I told him that's the actual law. The Chada, okay, the law. So one of them, I told him it's forbidden, but that's not the actual law. But I felt in this case that I have to be stringent with them, because otherwise they're going to come to be lazy and transgress. Boy Minai, okay, to be Boy Minai, what did they ask him? First they asked him, are you allowed to make a dough with milk? He answered, partially Isha. And I told him what with milk. So I told him, now that's not allowed. You're not allowed to. You're tiny because in Lashon, you're not allowed to knead a dough for bread with milk. In Lashon, if you do it, call it Pascal syrup. It's forbidden to eat the bread, even if you're just going to eat it with salt. But you better forget about it. You can't eat it with meat. You're not allowed to eat it. The rabbis are afraid. You're not allowed to eat it with salt because that's the person will come to sin and to eat it. And similarly, in Tashna Satana Ba'ayu, you cannot smear the walls of the oven with fat from the tail of the sheep. Why is that? Because the bread is going to have meat in it, milk, and therefore you're not allowed to eat it. Le'vim tasha, and therefore if you did do it, if you did smear the oven walls, call it paskula, asur, all the bread is asur, and what even to eat with salt, why unless you'll come to eat it with milk. Achiyasa katana, so you're forbidden to do any of those things until you fire the oven and tasha from the meaty substance. Aye. Okay, so that was one I told him. That's really the halacha, and that was the normative halacha, as they say, that I told him. Either by midnight. The second thing is you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to. You said you can't plow with. Oh, pardon me. You cannot. It's forbidden to. It's forbidden to interbreed two species. You're forbidden to do it. And we're going to talk about whatever. So he said. They asked me. Okay. They asked me the second question. Am I allowed to just put in one corral two different ox? Can I put a donkey and an ox into one corral? Pashtul, I told me so. I told you you're not allowed to do it. But that's not the letter of it. Really, what? That's not forbidden. To simply put them, as we'll see in a second, to simply put them in the same corral. Come on, I didn't make them mate. They want to mate. They made on their own. I didn't do anything. But I told them they shouldn't do it, as we'll see, as a chumrah, lest they'll finally come to, they'll actually come to, mate. Okay, now. Okay, the Amar Shmuel, and why is that not the lemon? The Amar Shmuel, the Shmuel told me, let's say any witnesses for adultery. So they only have to see people looking like people who are committing adultery. They're lying one on top of the other, the way people do. And they do adultery, okay, but he doesn't have to, okay, and they don't have to see the actual insertion, of the sex organ one into the other. It's not necessary. But they lie, and the same thing. He says, so they only have to see them lying together. When it comes to interbreeding, then it's forbidden. In other words, it's not true. No, to see adultery, you don't have to see. They used to have like an eye cosmetic in a tube, and a person would stick like a stick into the tube, and they would pull it out and put it on the eye. So that's used as a metaphor for the sex act. He said when it comes to people doing adultery, I don't have to see him put the stick into the tube. Yes, I don't have to see him do that. It's enough to see them lying on top of one another. But when it comes to, let's say, the prohibition of interbreeding animals, the person has to actually put the sex organ of one into the other, and otherwise the person is obligated. So therefore what? So since you see what, that you're only obligated for actually bringing about the sex act, directly, physically. So therefore, and even if you'll say what, like before we were talking about rabbinic decrees, the whole decree with the milk essentially is rabbinic. So, but the way Shmuel said it, since the only prohibition is what is actually inserting the organ. So even if you're going to have a rabbinic prohibition, the rabbinic prohibition would be what? Let's say not to hold on. You understand? Not to hold on. But there couldn't be a rabbinic prohibition to put them into the same corral. It's way too far. So therefore, it's clear that what I said was not according to Allah. What I said was very important. What I said. In other words, okay, maybe there's a halacha that's a rabbinic prohibition, but there can't be a rabbinic prohibition to really put them into the same corral. If it was forbidden to hold the animal when they're mating, then you could have rabbinic prohibition to not put them in the same corral. But if the Torah prohibition be holding, then you can have rabbinic prohibition to put in the corral. But if the Torah prohibition is only inserting, then you can't have rabbinic prohibition put in the corral only for what they're holding. If he said what I said was above it was overly stringent, but I thought that was the correct thing. Masi Rabachta Boy Ba'ami, and he was right. Masi Rabachta Boy Ba'ami, we have a kasha. He says, I have a brisa. He says, it's against you. He says, how can you tell me that that's how the issue is done? Because the brisa taught the following. Let's say the animal said what? It said, do not mate your animal. Not don't mate your animal, mixed species, but don't mate your animal. You know what that means? You can't hold the animal by its horns, while the male is mounting it. So I think that you're not allowed to hold it. Okay, and why is that? And what's the reason? Because you can have bad thoughts. Remember, it didn't say kilai. The Torah said don't mate animals. I think, you know what the problem is? Because you can have bad thoughts. So therefore, what? I can't hold it. But then the Torah, what it actually said was what? Don't mate your animals as a mixed species. Okay, a mixed species. So for the fact that he said that, so it means what? There's the implication that what? That because he said I would have thought I can't hold it. Okay, but so it must be what? So what's forbidden now? When now you understand that the Torah is really talking about mixed species, when you're reading the end of the sentence, So you see, what's in the Torah prohibition is just holding it. Gemara says, no, you make a mistake. They're speaking in a clean fashion. Maya chizak nasa. He says, when it says holding it doesn't mean holding it by the line. It really means what? It's sticking the organ one to the other. My car left. Why was it called holding? Because again, because throughout the Torah, and all Jewish people are careful to speak in a delicate fashion. So it said holding. It really meant inserting. And it said, but we don't want to say it. I'm not reading, so therefore we're fine. So everything worked out. I'm not reading. Min b'mino mutalachlis michel shofers. Yehuda says what? Let's say a person wants to make his animals mate. So he has the same species. He's allowed to make the same species. So he's allowed to actually insert the aver one into the other. There's not even a problem of bad thoughts. All right, 1 second. So we just said you do have bad thoughts. You're not even watch animals, mating. Yeah. So what's the answer? So the answer says, but there's a difference. Okay, why is that? So there's a difference between what? Difference between your animal that you're working or other animals. Okay, my time works for reason. Okay, because the guy does his job. He's trying to make animals. He's busy working. Okay, and therefore what? So he's not thinking sexual thoughts. He's busy just doing his job. Possible the boy, the boy asked the question, and he said, remember, he says what? It's a similar point. It's similar point to before. It says that what that you're not allowed to. Had you told me what again the price same price we had before? Had you told me what that you can't mate your animal? I see Omer lefazad the mess of the hema. I think you can't hold the animal so that the male can mount it. Okay, Talmud Lomar, because you're going to think bad thoughts. Talmud Lomar, but now the pasuk says kilayim. Don't mate your animals mixed species. Kilayim mudasa. It says only mixed species. Ha'amim b'mina shari, but you're allowed to mate them the same species. You're allowed to mate. Amim b'nima. But even when it's the same one, but it must be the same thing. What are you allowed to do? You're allowed to hold it. Okay, achnasalo, but you can't stick it in. So people told me before you're allowed to. This is not. You make a mistake. My achiza, but it said. Holding was really just a euphemism. Achnasa, really not much sticking it in. By my car left, he's what they call holding. Lishnui aliyah. What is that? That's just a nice line. You have to see what people are. What they really are. It's really true. You see professionals. Not so about. I uh, I I got married younger than everybody I knew, and had children much later than everybody. That's why I shouldn't do it for years and years and years and years. I was married before everybody, and I've been trying to get married before that. My parents wouldn't let me. But I was trying to get married when I was 5. But I did. But anyway, I finally had kids. It was the biggest deal in the world. And in the hospital, it's early morning, early morning, dawn, early morning. The sun was up there actually, but early morning. So in Israel in those days, all babies were delivered by midwives. That was their job. They delivered the baby. And so I'm there. That's the most spiritual experience. I waited years and years and years. I waited years to have a kid. Cried my heart out. Wait to have a kid. There I am. A spiritual experience in the world. So the 2 midwives they're there. Now they do this 24. They do this 7 days a week. All the time. So I'm there having the most spiritual thoughts in the world about baby and the shama, all kinds of things. And the 2 midwives are mamish going, what's going on over here? They changed the roster. I was supposed to be on Tuesdays. My baby's coming out. And when they told me I have to go to work this, and but believe it or not, listen to this. I laughed out loud. I saw how funny it was. Here I was, the height of my life, having a baby, the most spiritual thing in the world. And that's correct. And these 2 ladies who all day long, they could be selling fish. They could be selling fish. You understand? Say, what's the difference? And I laughed and laughed. I saw how funny it was. It didn't offend me. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. I'm having the highest spiritual experience than the fish market. Anyway, so the point is what? When you're doing your job, you don't care. The guy's trying to make money. He's trying to make a buck. He's trying to get some more babies. He's not thinking of these things. Amar Abashi, a similar, very similar point. He said that they asked me this from the house of the Reish Galusa. Okay, how about this question? Okay, we saw before we talked about putting two different species into the corral. So we said, okay, l'chumra, don't do it. But I want a different question. They want us like this. We're going to put in 2 different species, but each one has its same species. So you put an ox, a donkey, an ox, and a donkeys. Put a lot of oxen and donkeys into the same thing. So every one has its own species. It doesn't that it's not necessarily going to go to the other species. Yeah, yeah, it has its own. So come on, it's already done. It's like almost twice removed. Came in game busted in there, garlic. We said this. Come on, since its own species there, it's going to go after. You don't have to worry about it. Oh, dimma, enough. Say enough. Even so, we're still worried that what and we have to say that you can't do it like we said above. Okay, he says postulated sure the and I said you can't do it more stringent than the real halacha. We should be why because the slaves, the Canaanite slaves of the Reish Garusa were not good guys, and they're going to be negligent about their yeah about they're going to be negligent about the halacha of intervening species. Okay, now we're going to learn about it again. Now we're back to all these laws. In that case, you had to worry about it, Sam. Yeah, yes. And you're right that we have to talk a lot and lumdus about it, but yes. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that's a good point. Okay, that's also a good point. Okay, haya osa biyado avalov raglav. We know that's a good point. We know that remember we've been comparing completely all the laws of eating during work, whether it's an animal or a human, even though they're two different things. One is not to, one is that the animal has a right to eat, you can't muzzle it. One is that the worker who's working also in the produce has a right to eat. So we've compared them because we said what we said because the pasuk said shore, but it didn't have to say shore. Los asrim shore b'disho. So we compared the muzzler to the muzzle, and therefore we learned that we always comparing the halachas of muzzling an animal to halachas of what of allowing the worker, the human worker, to eat. I says, so we learned. I also be other let's say a guy works only with his hands in your produce. So he's picking grapes, he's picking olives, but not with his feet. But not with his feet. He's only picking, let's say. Raglo with the other. Let's say he's processing your produce with his feet by threshing, or for example, by crushing grapes in the grape, in the grapery, in the winery. Okay, so maybe he's only using his feet. Says I feel a bit safer, or let's say he's given a job where he just uses his shoulders and he doesn't use hand or feet at all. So I would say they argue against Rashi because they say carrying you do use, but I would say a little different. I'd say according to Rashi was like this, that I think that I would say to defend Rashi that it just means, let's say here they put something you're not sometimes you just have to get a thing up so that they put it on you just stand you just straighten yourself up so you don't walk, you just stand, you don't use your hands, you don't use your feet, but you just use your shoulders, you just have to lift it up. That's what I would think to defend Rashi against the Taina of Tosus. um, so it says afilu b'teifo. So even if he just uses, so even whether he only uses his hands, not his feet, not his hands. Even if he uses his shoulders, there's hand or feet at all of these cases, Hari's a ofer. He still has a right to eat from the produce that he is working that he's working in. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, he says what he says no. He said Achi Yossi, he has to use his hands and his feet. My time. He says, well, what's the reason of the first opinion that he doesn't have to use his hands and his feet? Because the pasuk says, "Kitov v'kerem." That's it. When you come into the vineyard of friend, don't put it don't put it to his because vineyard etc. says "B'kol my David." It doesn't matter. You come in whatever work you're doing because we learned another place that talking about a worker. So whatever work you're doing, what's the difference? There was no specification of what parts of the body that you are using. There's no problem. Okay, it doesn't say, for example, when you're picking grapes in the vineyard. You're in the vineyard. It doesn't say what you're doing. It doesn't say you're picking grapes. Okay. Right, exactly, right, right, right. So my time, okay. So therefore, it said, "But call my time, whatever you do." Yossi Yehuda Omer, Achi Yossi Yehuda. I should have said no. The second phase is no. You have to use your hands and your feet. My time was, where's the source? The Medusa Yehuda. We just said the pastor doesn't demand it. The answer is too short. What? Because remember, because both of the rules are compared. The muzzling of the ox rule and the worker eating rule are compared, like we said, because of the extra word shore. Ma shore Achi Yossi Yehuda Ragla. So the ox, how is the ox when the ox is threshing? It threshes with its forelegs and hind legs. Paul, Achiyasa, the other Raglo. So also what? So also the human has to use the equivalent of his forelegs and his hind legs and his hands and his feet. Okay, by Ravuna, that's what wasn't the time to go. So here's your question. Let's say you decided to thresh your stuff with birds. With the geese and chickens. Okay, the Yossi Yehuda. So what about Yossi Yehuda? So I'm not sure what the rule is. But Yossi Yehuda said what? That the human has to be just like the animal. Just like the animal uses four legs and hind legs, the man has to use his hands and his feet. So now, when it comes to a chicken, what would he say? Ma'u b'kol way. Did it really just mean four legs and hind legs? Really mean with all that he can use, which is all four limbs. Why? In this case, the chicken, even though it's only using two limbs, that's all it's got. So it's doing it. Oh, dilma v'yada raglo b'einav v'haleka. Or no, by definition, you always have to have hands and feet, and it doesn't have hands and feet, and therefore what? And therefore you're allowed to muzzle the chicken because it do the job that the Torah says you can't let it do while it's muzzled. And the answer is, Gemara says, take, let it stay.
So Rabbi Yehuda would actually say tie the mouth closed.
No, we don't know. We don't know. That's the argument.
But we don't know, but that means it assumes we're applying.
One possibility is that you could one on one side of the suffix. If you hold it, you literally need four legs and hind legs, so the chicken doesn't have it. So what was so you could muzzle the chicken.
Flaps his wings.
No, that's the point. Yeah, they're not considered. That's a little bit. That's an argument they were talking about Tosis about the wings, but we're just learning simply now the chickens don't have hands. That's the way we're learning. I'm Rav Nachman, except in Walt Disney. I'm Rav Nachman. I'm Rav Baravua. He says, yeah. Poalim Anshelo Hochvishesem Arab Bagat. He says the workers, okay. He says they're only if they're working, let's say on the wine, they're crushing the grapes. They're not allowed to to eat the grapes. They're allowed the second that they're working. They're trampling the grapes. Eat the grapes. They're working on the grapes. They'll eat the grapes while they're working. But to drink the wine that comes out until they walk both directions, north south and east west. Hopefully, they can only eat the grapes. They ain't just not allowed to drink the wine. Why is that? Because the wine doesn't descend from the grapes until you walk to go down until you to go down to the to go down to the pit until you go northwest, east, south. Okay, because but once they went north, south, east, west, then they can both eat the grapes and drink the wine because they weren't considered as processing the wine, the liquid yet, until they drank both directions. Now, I also potato. Now, this is fascinating. I also potato lechem anav. Mishnah says what? Let's say a worker's working. He's allowed to eat while he's working. Let's say he's gonna work. He's gonna work. He's gonna work figs. He's gonna work grapes. But when if he's working the figs, he has no right to eat the grapes. If he's working the grapes, he has no right to eat from the figs because he's only allowed to eat, like we're gonna see later. He's only allowed to eat what he's working on. That's the whole. It's what the Torah allowed him. But even though what he can't eat, so he can only eat what he's working on. We had an illusion of this before. But what he's allowed to do is he can withhold eating till he gets to a good place. Well, that he's allowed to do. Yeah, he's allowed to wait, hold back, and just get to the good ones and eat them and fill himself with those. He's not obligated to eat continuously, and spread it out. Okay, V'kula Amru. Okay, now the Mishnah said V'kula Amru, but the Mishnah continues V'kula Amru b'shas malacha. And furthermore, everything we said was what that the person is only allowed to eat while he's still working. He can't stop working and eat. They didn't tell him that. He's allowed to eat while he's working. And the truth is, he can't stop and eat. However, that's the halach from the Torah because he has no right. He has no right to stop. Okay, he has no right to eat. Pardon me, when he's not working. But since the rabbis know that the boss would be happier if he would stop and eat rather than eat while he's working. Amru, the rabbi said, let's say they're going to walk between one row and the other. They're allowed to. They're allowed to finish working on this row, and now while they're going from this row to that row, they're allowed to eat. And similarly, let's say they're unloading the grapes into the press. Basically they're going to press them. Okay, so when they dump these ones and go back to get the other ones, they're allowed to eat the grapes. Okay, even though what they're not working there. And this is an enigma. We'll have to explain it later. And also the donkey, while they're unloading it, the donkey's allowed to eat. We'll have to see what it means. One second. So no, but what is it? So it was only because since we know that the boss would rather that the workers just work and not eat while they work, even that's in the Torah allowed to eat. But the rabbi said that we're going to tell the workers that they definitely eat when they go up the water. Because ultimately, we know that the boss, it's like Moshe Rabbeinu, the boss is benefit. Every boss wants the guy to to eat in the middle and not eat and work because he overgot it. So the Gemara says, "Ibai, we had this question. Also, the Geffen Zer, Moshe what's the rule if a guy is working on one vine, but he wants to pull grapes off the other vine and eat? He's working on this vine, but he mentioned to us in the Kel Shabbat Bais. So it has to be what? What's the rule? Because it says, you can eat, but you can't put it into your utensil. You can eat, but you can't put it into your storage container. But you put it into the boss's storage container. So it has to be what? What is he allowed to do? Is it be that you're allowed to eat from the very stuff that you're putting into the guy's container, and therefore what? And it is. It's the same. It's the same species. The same species says, look, it's grapes and grapes. It's no problem. It's just one vine or another one, but it's all the same grapes. Oh, Dilma, no. It's not the type that you put into his container. The actual stuff from this vine. So you don't live all that guy. It's not. If you go to another vine. So is it what that the vine that you're putting into the container is the vine you're allowed to eat from, or no? As long as it's the same species. If you're doing grapes, they're putting in potatoes, they can take grapes from another vine. Which is it? Is it the species or the actual source, the vine that you're picking? The intent of lomar begefen azet v'lo yachol begefen acher. We say what? Tell me, the halacha is what it really means. What you're working on. So if you're working on this vine, you can't eat from another vine. Sure, okay. When the ox is eating, and we said an ox is allowed to. You're not allowed to muzzle it when it's working on stuff that's connected to the ground. No, pardon me, I didn't say it right. So the Gemara is a big surprise. So listen, it's obvious, okay, that you're allowed to work on one vine and eat from the other. It's obvious. I'll prove to you. Because we know that the laws are the same. The laws for muzzling the ox, the prohibition of muzzling the ox, and of not letting the worker eat. So the intent of lomar also begefen zeh le'echol begefen acher. If you were to tell me that you're not allowed to eat from another vine when you're working on this one, knows it has to be the actual vine that you're working and not the species, then I'm going to show you a kasha. We know that an ox is allowed to eat from the food vine. It's allowed to eat, but it's working now. How's it going to eat? Okay. Now, what's the point? How does an ox work? Let's say stuff in the ground. That's what ox working. So the ox is pulling a wagon between the rows, and the worker is working over here, and the ox. Now, the ox got a wagon behind it. The ox got a wagon behind it. The ox is pulling the wagon, and they're working on the vine always behind him. He's always up ahead. The ox is always up ahead. Where the ox's head is the next vine, and the wagon where they're working is behind. So if an ox is allowed to eat from something that's connected, by definition, he'll always be eating from different ones. So you see, you are allowed to have to work on one. The workers are working on one vine. Okay, let's say here. Let's say for example here, what's connected? Remember, I didn't explain properly. What's eating from connected? Connected means what? At the time of the harvesting, right? It's connected, and then when you harvest, it's connected, and they're now pulling it off. So the workers, the vine is there, right? And they're pulling off the grapes from the vine. So we're the workers. They're behind the wagon, pulling off the grapes and putting it into the wagon. Where's the ox? Ahead. So the ox is always going to be eating what from the next vine up, not the one that they're picking. So, but you see, by definition, I can prove to you that you can work on one vine and eat from the other, because the human law is just like the animal law. He says no. He says that's no proof at all. Why? Something with a very long vine. Why did you assume that the animal's is up ahead in the wagon? It's the next vine. It's a particularly long vine, and the workers are working behind in that one place in the vine. He's up, his head's up on the same vine. So you have no proof. Oh, so because one in general, the subject is similar. One, because it's talking about the worker eating, a human worker, animal worker. But the pasuk wrote when it said, "Don't muzzle your animal when it's threshing." It said, "Lo safsom shor bedisha." Don't muzzle your ox while it's threshing. Now the truth is, we know from Shabbos that all animals are the same. If you say ox, you mean all animals. We learn it by Shabbos. Ox means everything, all the animals. So now, if the Torah wanted to tell me, ox means all animals. You're right, not people. Now,
Yeah.
wait, yeah. So now, so if the Torah wanted to tell me that I cannot muzzle all animals, which is the truth. What should it have said? Lo saksham b'disha. Don't muzzle during the time of threshing. Whatever you're threshing with, don't muzzle it. Why did it add the word ox? Since ox is utterly superfluous. Since ox means all animals, and if without writing ox, I already know all animals, because it could just say what? Don't thresh, don't muzzle when you thresh. When it added ox, it has to come for some other reason. So the Gemara learned earlier, it's coming to compare the muzzler to the muzzlee, to the one that's getting muzzled. And therefore it teaches us that the laws of not of allowing an ox to eat and not threshing it and not muzzling it are equivalent to the laws of allowing a worker to eat and not stopping it from eating. That's the answer. The Torah went out of its way and added an extra word that was utterly superfluous to put it to compare the laws we know to learn from one to the other, the laws of a worker eater and the laws of an ox eater. That's the simple answer. Okay, so now, okay, Toshba, so we're still stuck. We don't know. We haven't proven a point. Allowed to work one vine and eat from another vine or not? Toshma says, let me solve the problem. What about our Mishnah? We said, oh, so we said you can't. If a guy's working on the figs, he can't eat from the grapes. He's gonna even though he's gonna work on both. Do me another. But let's say it was a question of figs and figs, similar to figs and grapes. Meaning what? Okay, what would be the ochel? He's allowed to do it. Only what? Figs to grapes, but grapes to grapes like figs to grapes, or figs to figs like figs to grapes is okay. Okay, that's the case. What does that mean? What does that mean? You're working on one and you're eating from the other. He says, if you tell me what that if you're working on one vine you can't eat from the other vine, how can you have a case that's similar to figs and grapes? That's by grapes and grapes. There's no such case. Because you only said what grapes to figs you can't do, but grapes to grapes you can do. Rav Shisha Brady Ravidi said, no proof. Good, nice try, but no horseshoe. Why is that? He says, Bermudlays, because the whole case was what the mission was talking about with the figs and the grapes are, the grapes are trellised on the fig tree. So they're bound together. The fig branch, no, we'll get there. But the figs, the grapes are trellised one and the other. And therefore what? Okay, so okay, and so therefore it's like one. And and so since one is working on them, okay, okay, and therefore what? Therefore the truth is it's only by two different types you can. But by one type, let's say, so the two vines, let's say, are mixed together, it really is enough like one. And I could say really what? It's like it's over there. That case you really can. That's really one vine. But I want to know when they're not mixed together. Toshba, again, I have a proof. Avumanea satzmo. I should make it. He said the poor worker's about to be a smart guy. I hold back. He knows what the good produce is. He's not going to eat that. He's going to hold his appetite till he gets to the good one. He'll eat the good one. You're my sister. We get from Jochel. We get from Acher. You tell me what the other way. If a person who's working on one vine is allowed to eat on another vine, nasal, okay, why does he have to hold himself back? Why? What do you mean? Right now, you're hungry now. Just reach, go over there. No, go over there and get it from the other one. Why are you working this one? They must say, nah, get out of here. That's no proof. That's not because you're not allowed to. It really is for maybe you're allowed to. And the only reason he can't be because he's cheating the boss by stopping working on the vine. Local Bayalon. He says, no. So he said, what? So we shouldn't be doing Melachah by. So I'm not asking you about stopping work. Obviously, he can't do that. That's cheating. But the reason he can't do it, we're not saying the reason why he can't walk over to the other body because he's cheating the boss. He's stopping working. You say, but I want to know if he doesn't have to cheat the boss, if he doesn't have to stop working, can he eat from the other? Let's say, for example, where what his wife and kids are there, they'll go get it for him while he's working. They'll go bring daddy some grapes from the good vine. Okay, come and Kiko Rabban, there, my what's the law? Hashma, come, I'll try and bring you a proof. Kulam, we said what? We said what? We said in our Mishnah what? That all this that the worker's allowed is only while he's working. But even so, even though the truth is not allowed to eat from the produce he's working on when he's not actually working. But for the sake of returning a lost object, for the benefit of the boss, the rabbis made a decree that the workers can take the grapes and eat them while they're walking from one vine to one row to the other. But the same thing, they take the grapes when they have to dump them and then go out again to get more, they can eat the grapes on the way back. So Ruas in the base managed to analyze it. So we said, well, you have to say, well, come on. When you're walking from one place to the other, you're still working for the boss. And nevertheless, even though he's still working for the boss, when he's walking from one to the other, we said it's only because of a rabbinic decree that he's allowed to eat. But from the Torah, he's not allowed to eat it. Alma, you see clearly what? Also, be careful, Zeno, be careful, Achis. You see what? That you're not allowed to take the grapes from one and eat from, and when you're working on one and eat the grapes from another. Because it's only rabbinically he was allowed to do it. And that was good enough for the Torah because the rabbis have control over the money. But really he wasn't allowed to do it. Okay? The guy says, wow, you're wrong. Also, we get from Zel, we get from that. The truth is, a person who eats from one vine can eat from the other vine. And the truth is what? That when you're walking from one to the other, you're not working. And if you see what the other way that you're okay, uh, 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 um, okay, you're not okay, and when he's right, and when he's not doing it, and it's not doing work. And therefore, you're working from one to the other, and since you're not doing it for the boss, you know how to do it. And therefore, that's why, since you're not working when you're walking from one to the other, when you're walking from, when you walk from the other, you're not working, and therefore, it's only because the rabbis decreed it. Higidamri, some people learn the last piece like this, a little different format. Savrua, they analyze it like this. Mahalech, okay, when you're walking from one place to the other, you're not working at that moment. And what's the reason why from the Torah you can't eat? That's the reason why, because you're not working. You know, can only when you're working. Also, and therefore it's only rabbinically you're allowed to eat. Also, myself, but if you're working from the Torah, you're allowed to eat from work on one vine and you eat from the other. Alma, also we get from self, we get from Achir. So it's clear when therefore it's clear that what? If you're working on one vine, you can eat from the other. No, the one says, nah, also we get from Zeh, also we get from Achir. And to tell you, no, the truth is what? That if you're working on one vine, you can't eat from the other vine. When you're walking, you are working. Okay, and even though you are working, it's only because of the rabbis you're allowed to eat from the Torah. Why? Because you can't work on one vine and eat from the other. So you can't fit this from here while you're walking from here. The Chamar should be because the end was, he said, what? It's a very strange thing. What do you mean? When the animal, when you're unloading the animal, you're allowed to eat. The animal is allowed to eat. What does that tell you? Because the answer is no. He says, Kashif Rex, so he said, if they're unloading it, what's it eating? Okay? They're taking everything off. What's it eating? There's no time to eat. They took it off. What did she eat it? He says, so what she can eat until they take it off. No, whatever's on her back, the animal has the right to eat. And the Kiddush is what? That if the animal is allowed to eat what's on its back. And okay, that supports what we learned in Hadjan Rabbanan. This is support what we learned in Raisa. Okay, Hamor v'Gamor Ofen b'Maseh Shagam. The donkey and the camel are allowed to eat from the load on their back. But what? But the boss, the owner of the animals, is not to take what's on their back and feed it to them. Okay, because the Torah only prohibited what? Muslim. And he never told me that I could take it and give it to the animal. Okay,
so
I'll let it go.
I mean, it's eating when it drops down.
Or it's reaching down. It's reaching. You see the animal.
Animal, I hear, but not a donkey.
I don't even know, but whatever it is, maybe someday. I've seen horses turn back also. I've seen horses. Yeah. One time by Rabbi Goldberg, the first year I went to Rabbi Goldberg, it was Shemitah. So there was a guy, a truly religious farmer from up north, and he looked like a farmer from the children's. Like Mr. Green Jean, the Jolly Green Giant. The guy looked like he was 7 feet tall. Mom and he locked up the farm. Goodbye. Close the farm. Close the farm. And came to Shai to live with him. He's sitting in the grass, and the beautiful boy, every day sits in the back. This is rapid. He never says, after I looked like he was so tall, when he was sitting down, looked like he was standing. Didn't say it was. And they're very happy to learn the shot was so far. So Goldberg says,